Okay, so this video is going to be about how to figure out which acid-base disorder you're dealing with if you're given ABG values. So first of all, just to make a note, this only works for simple acid-base disorders and not mixed acid-base disorders. But for simple acid-base disorders, this is a real quick method to be able to figure out what you're dealing with. So the only two values you need from an ABG are going to be the pH and the bicarb. Bicarb is also HCO3 negative. This is the value you're going to see on an ABG. And so these are the only two values that you're going to need to figure out what you're dealing with. So metabolic acidosis, alkalosis, or respiratory acidosis or alkalosis. So first of all, you're going to want to know the normal ranges for pH and bicarb. So for those two values. So normal pH in the human body, 7.35 to 7.45. Know this, memorize this, you're going to need it. And the normal range for bicarb is going to be 22 to 26. So anything in between these are normal. Anything outside of the range is something abnormal that we're going to figure out what kind of acid-base disorder it is. So let's do some of these examples I prepared here. So the first one is going to be, we have a pH of 7.55 and a bicarbonate of 29. So how do we figure out what acid base we're dealing with? So first we're going to look at the pH. So is it below or is it above our pH range? Well, 7.55 is above 7.45, so this is going to be alkalosis. Alkalosis. If it was below, so say like 7.25, that's going to be acidosis. So below is acidosis, above is alkalosis. And our bicarbonate is, let's see, is it above or below our range? So let me go ahead and mark this one. Alkalosis was above our range, so we're going to draw a little up arrow. Bicarbonate, 29, this is above the higher limit of our range. So we're also going to draw an up arrow. So these two are both going up. If they are both going in the same direction, this is going to be metabolic. So these two are in the same direction as we called because they're both above the normal range. So this means it's going to be metabolic. If they were going in different directions or not, anything that is not the same direction, that's going to be respiratory. So that's how you distinguish between metabolic and respiratory. Now, how do we figure out if it's acidosis or alkalosis? Well, we know from our pH that this was alkalosis, so that means it's going to be metabolic alkalosis for this example. And let's go ahead and do another one. So get more practice on this. So the pH 7.31, this is lower than our range. So this is acidosis. And I'm going to draw a down arrow to help us there. Bicarbonate, 33 is above our range. So these two arrows are pointing in different directions. So that means we're dealing with respiratory. And then how do we figure out acidosis or alkalosis? We look at the pH. This is respiratory acidosis. So if you have ABG values of these, pH 7.31 and bicarb 33. This is a disorder of respiratory acidosis. Okay, and to our final example, we have a pH of 7.52. This is going to be above our range, so this is alkalosis. Remember, once again, above is alkalosis, below is acidosis. And let's figure out if we're doing with metabolic or respiratory. So bicarb 24, this is within the normal value, so we're not below or above, and that's okay. So I'm just going to put like a line like this. Nothing's wrong. However, but since they're still not in the same direction as in the first example, up and up, this is up and nothing. So this is still going to be respiratory that we're dealing with. So even if the bicarb is normal, we have respiratory alkalosis. So this is just a quick and easy method to help you figure out which acid-base disorder you're dealing with from ABG values.